gamers, this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a while, been trying to make today. I've had technical issues because this is a new setup for me, and I'm also full of cold, and I was heading towards the end of one recording and started having a coughing fit. I spent loads of time trying to get this the way that I wanted it and just couldn't do it, so I gave up, and I've come back to make a video about Dead Rising. My experiences with Dead Rising, the original game and the digital Deluxe Remaster. This is not a let's play, this is just me talking about my experiences and comparing the introductions to both of the games I've just mentioned. The digital Deluxe Remaster is a game that I've just finished recently, and I am currently going through my second playthrough. I didn't finish the original game. I was frustrated with the original game. When I first picked it up many years ago in a local Tesco store, I had high expectations because it was Capcom, it was zombies, it looked like it was Dawn of the Dead, even though there was a disclaimer on the front cover saying it wasn't anything to do with George A. Romero. It had that vibe, and it had me excited. I took it home, started playing, and quickly started to get frustrated. This game, the original, is such a frustrating game. It's not a bad game. Capcom did a good job considering the time that this came out. This was early on in the life cycle of the Xbox 360, not that long after the original Xbox had come to an end, so it was quite a leap and was really showing what was going to be possible for gaming moving forward. However, all of the things that they got right, there were certain things that they got wrong, in my opinion. The camera controls for when you're taking photographs, and the movement of the player character and of some of the survivors that you can rescue was just so badly done. It made it frustrating for somebody who was a perfectionist, who had control issues at the time. I wanted to be able to do everything possible in that game, and I felt like I was hindered. Even in the digital Deluxe Remaster, it's still a challenge. It's still a very difficult game, but it's more enjoyable to die in the remaster than it was to die in the original, because the original was just, it was a ball ache. It was an absolute, and I get you're supposed to have the feeling of being overwhelmed because there's so many zombies on the screen who are trying to kill you, but you can have fun whilst doing that. The weapons, or the use of weapons in this game, was also frustrating. The shooting mechanics were terrible, and even though you were picking up and combining powerful weapons to slay lots of zombies, it just didn't feel like it was possible, didn't feel like it was worth the effort. And the melee combat in particular without weapons, or should I say the combat without weapons, not the melee combat without weapons, that wouldn't work with it. The hand-to-hand combat was even more frustrating in this original game. So the idea here is that I'm going to explore the intro to both games one at a time, not side by side, because that'll become too distracting, just to show the differences and to talk a little bit more about my experiences with both of the games. The trick here is going to be holding my tongue when the characters are speaking. I will try to do that so that I don't speak over the top of voices and loud noises. If you haven't played this game before, try to imagine seeing this opening for the first time. It had me ready for some zombie action. And it is Dawn of the Dead.
Say, buddy, You mentioned something about research for a story.
That's right. Got a tip that something big's happening.
In a nowhere little town like that? They sure didn't mention anything about it on TV.
Yeah, well, I'm freelance, pal. I don't make my living waiting for the TV to tell me what to cover.
He's a rebel. Frank West on screen for the first time.
Here she is. Willamette, Colorado. Population 53,594. Distinguishing characteristics? Jack shit. About the only thing to do in this town is kill time at the shopping mall.
Yes, I was ready for it. Killing time and zombies.
What was that? The army? Yeah.
Looks like taking the helicopter was the way to go. I bet they got all the roads blocked off by now.
I feel like I'm in the helicopter.
All right, listen. I want to get shots of the whole town
Headset.
before the National Guard finishes roping it off. Take me over the main street.
So here we go with frustration number 1. And this was unique at the time. The use of the camera and taking photographs to get experience points to level up your character. But it was so stiff, so wooden. And you have to use the buttons to zoom in and out, which just doesn't feel as intuitive as the D-pad in the remaster. Feels like the camera just jerks all over, and it makes it really difficult to get accurate photographs. And the helicopter is jerking up and down, adding to the frustration whilst trying to be a perfectionist. When I first started playing this game, I restarted so many times because I was blind going into this. I didn't know what to expect. So when I realised that the photographs counted, I wanted to go back and get the best shots, and that just added to this not being a very good opening experience. Obviously now, with all of the experience that I have of Dead Rising and playing video games, this doesn't seem so bad. But all those years ago, it felt like a real challenge. It was a mechanic I wasn't used to.
I have no idea. But one thing's for sure. Whatever's going on down there, it's not business as usual in this town.
For seeing all this for the first time, it was quite an experience. There weren't any games like this on the original Xbox, nothing close to it. And you can see the foundations of this game, which Capcom have used for the remaster, they really did do a good job. But maybe they spent so much time making this look aesthetically pleasing that they forgot about good game controls. Now I knew what was coming this time around, but first time playing this game, when that helicopter jerks and makes you miss the shot, I didn't get that high score first time around, so I reset and came back getting it again. That's pretty much the end of the introduction of how to use the camera and letting you know of its importance for the remainder of the game. Ah yes, there's one more. Almost forgot. And it's one of the most memorable parts of the opening. So I don't know how I forgot. Poor woman, stuck on a rooftop, running out of bullets, running out of space, and eventually, well, you'll see. I restarted this many times as well. Again, not knowing what was coming. That can happen. You can get a 0 score. A 0 again. I'm surprised I wasn't right on it.
I want to see the center of town.
I would have restarted. So that's the end of that introduction to the basic mechanics of using the camera. Incredibly frustrating at the end there, getting a 0. There is the Dawn of the Dead Mall.
Hey, can you get me on the rooftop of that mall?
You gotta be kidding me. Man, you are nuts.
Yep.
All right, listen. Don't forget to come back for me.
As long as you're not dead, Fred.
It's
It's
Frank.
Frank West. Remember that name, because the whole world's gonna know it in 3 days when I get the scoop.
All right. Shit!
A little bit of drama. Setting the scene. It was all exciting stuff.
Get us back down to that rooftop.
Once I got over myself,
I know I'm gonna get my butt chewed out for this one.
I was ready for the action.
We're going down.
And I still didn't know what to expect. I'm thinking Resident Evil. And that's not what Dead Rising is. It's its own game.
Hello there. You're the reporter, aren't you?
Yeah.
You came along.
Yeah, I'm freelance. You know, go on the battlefield alone, no crew. So, what's going on around here anyway?
You came by helicopter, didn't you? What did you see from the sky?
Well, if it were just a riot, I doubt the military would quarantine the entire area. The moratorium on information getting out is a little extreme, in my opinion. There's, something else I can't put my finger on. Doesn't sound like civil disobedience. It's too quiet.
Almost as if everyone's already dead.
Memorable.
Yeah. So why don't you just tell me already? What's going on?
I think you'd better see for yourself. This, my friend, is hell.
Aye, it certainly is. Playing this game was hell. That is intro over. There are a lot more cutscenes. There's some introductions to some of the main characters and then a little bit more dialogue and a few more cutscenes, and you get into the action. Let's just have a little wander around on the rooftop. Take a look around, because you'll notice differences when it comes to seeing the Deluxe remaster of this game. I'm happy that I finally got to get to the end and see everything that I didn't see when I tried to play this game. And I'm still disappointed that I wasn't able to enjoy this game first time around, because it had everything on paper. On paper, it had everything that I wanted in a video game at that time. And in reality, there was just too many things that made it a frustrating experience. That meant that every time I came back hoping that I would be able to progress beyond the point that I stopped it the last time around, I just wasn't able to. Okay, so next up, the Deluxe Remaster, and a little bit about my experience with that game. Hello world of gamers. As promised, a direct comparison of the intro. This is Dead Rising, the Deluxe Remaster. I must apologise because in the first video I kept calling it the Digital Deluxe Remaster. I don't know why, probably because I tried to make the video over and over again and just got that stuck in my head. This is the Deluxe Remaster, or DRDR. Very clever. I finished it. I'm going back through it again. It will be on my list of games to keep replaying, because there's still more to do, more leveling up to do, and hundreds, possibly even thousands of more zombies to kill. I really enjoyed the remaster, and if you have been on the fence, if you've been thinking, I want to play this game, but should I go and play the original first, just play this game. That's my suggestion, and that's just a suggestion. You don't have to do anything that I say. You are entirely free to do what you want. So let's get into it. First off, I just need to make sure that I don't save over my New Game Plus. I will start a new game. You will see that because I finished it, I now have this Infinity mode, I think it's called. I can't remember. Answers down in the comments. We'll start with 72-hour mode because this is just a direct comparison of the intro compared to the original. And what I'll say first of all, before we get into it, is that this remaster, it's not a remake, it's a deluxe, not a digital, a deluxe remaster, is, or was, should I say, programmed on the RE engine. And if you're not familiar with what the RE engine is, the RE engine is Capcom's new gaming engine, which they have been using for all of their modern Resident Evil games. And that was what swayed me towards picking this game up, because from Resident Evil 7 onwards, Capcom's games have been looking amazing. And as a massive fan of Resident Evil, the remakes for me have been absolutely outstanding and have been like playing those games for the very first time once again. So let's go into 72-hour mode. Let's just make sure I do not save over something that I don't want to. So that's playthrough 2, playthrough 2, playthrough 1. Let's go there. You can pick casual or normal, I'm just going to go on normal as I did first time around. The difficulty is still apparent in this game, but it's not as difficult as the original, in my opinion. You will also notice that sound quality has been improved. This is Frank dressed up from my last playthrough, looking funky. And there's new voice acting in this game as well.
Say, buddy, you mentioned something about research for a story. That's right. Got a tip that something big's happening. In a nowhere little town like that, they sure didn't mention anything about it on TV. Yeah, well, I'm freelance, pal. I don't make my living waiting for the TV to tell me what to cover.
I'll be honest, in my headphones it sounds a little tinny compared to the original. Headphones will give you the true audio.
She is. Willamette, Colorado. Population 53,594. Distinguishing characteristics? Jack shit. About the only thing to do in this town is kill time at the shopping mall.
Pun intended. It looks sharper though.
What was that? The army? Yeah.
Without taking anything away
It was the way to go. They
from
got all the roads blocked off by now.
the original game.
All right, listen. I want to get shots of the whole town before the National Guard finishes roping it off. Take me over the main street.
Okay, camera controls in the remaster, smoother, more manageable. However, the inside of the helicopter is much more visible in this remaster, which is a bit of an annoyance because it means that you have to zoom way in order to not have that in the camera view. It definitely feels like I don't have to be as much of a perfectionist when taking photographs in this version. Perfect. Bit of brutality. Bit of ultra violence.
Is this what you came to take pictures of?
Survival.
Sure is.
It also doesn't take as long
Check that out.
for the camera to reset.
People. What the hell's happening here?
But yeah, the inside of the helicopter being so visible this time is a little bit of an annoyance.
I have no idea. But one thing's for sure. Whatever's going on down there, it's not business as usual in this town.
Thankfully, you're only in the helicopter for the beginning of the game. I'm just taking random pictures now. In the first game, it didn't feel like I had that opportunity because the camera would take so long to reset that I'd be just focused on taking the photographs that I thought would get the most points.
Holy shit!
Woo!
Did you see that?
I did. burning zombies. Oh.
I've got to take her up for a sec.
That's what I was trying to get. So yeah, being able to just snap away is good because all of the PP points go towards experience and leveling up Frank's skills.
Check us down. We have to check out that building. Huh? Where? Right below us.
Which is needed, yeah. You need to level Frank up as quickly as possible to get the best out of this game. This is one of my favourite parts of the introduction. Not because of what happens to the poor woman. I just think it's one of the most memorable scenes in the whole game. Looks like there's just somebody squatted down there. Oh, he's not. He's on his knees. He, she, they are on their knees. I'm just making assumptions on identity. And I missed what was going on here. See if we captured perfect. Yes. Brutal.
I want to see the center of town. Take me there.
I was trying to get the roof.
Hey, can you get me on the rooftop of that mall? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, man, you are nuts. All right, listen. Don't forget to come back for me. As long as you're not dead, Fred.
It's Frank.
It's Frank. Frank West. Remember that name, because the whole world's gonna know it in 3 days, when I get the scoop. All right. Whoa! Shit! Oh.
Bit of helicopter drama.
Get us back down to that rooftop! You know I'm gonna get my butt chewed out for this one. We're going down.
Woo! All hell breaks loose.
Hello there. Huh? You're the reporter, aren't you?
Yeah?
You came alone.
Yeah, I'm freelance. You know, going the battlefield alone, no crew. So, what's going on around here anyway?
You came by helicopter, didn't you? What did you see from the sky?
Stuff.
Well, if it were just a riot, I doubt the military would quarantine the entire area. The moratorium on information getting out is a little extreme, in my opinion. There's something else I can't put my finger on. Doesn't sound like civil disobedience. It's too quiet.
Almost as if everyone's already dead.
Could be.
Yeah. So why don't you just tell me already? What's going on?
I think you better see for yourself. This, my friend. Is hell.
And that concludes the comparison between the two intros. Almost. We'll have a little wander around. I just want to show you that compared to the first game, the original game, this game is a little busier. You can see that with the new engine, Capcom have added a lot of extras into the environment, and it's better for it. It feels as though you are running through a mall now and not just a big empty building. I really enjoyed the remaster. I highly recommend giving it a play, especially if you love zombie games, especially if you love slaying masses of zombies. This is the game to do that in. Thank you as always for liking, watching, subscribing, and I'm still a little under the weather. I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.